Talking to yourself when you are alone is often noticed quickly and understood poorly. It tends to be interpreted as a sign that something is unstable, as if a quiet mind is the only kind of healthy mind. But for some people, silence does not bring clarity. It creates congestion. When thoughts move quickly, overlap, and compete for attention, staying quiet can make everything feel more chaotic rather than calm. Speaking becomes a way to slow that internal motion, just enough to see what is actually happening. This habit is not about losing control or drifting away from reality. It is about giving fast-moving. When self-talk appears during moments of stress, it is often misread as anxiety spiraling out of control. In reality, it usually signals the opposite. Speaking to yourself creates psychological distance between what you feel and how you respond. By putting emotions into words, the nervous system receives a cue to slow down. Psychology recognizes this form of self-directed language as a marker of emotional regulation, not emotional weakness. Addressing yourself out loud helps shift the mind from reaction to observation, allowing intense feelings to move through without taking full control of behavior. Instead of being overwhelmed, you become a steady presence, guiding yourself through pressure. While many people depend on external reassurance to regain balance, this habit shows an internal ability to stabilize emotions using language. It is a quiet form of resilience that allows composure to return before situations escalate. Another reason this habit persists is because speaking strengthens memory in a way silent thinking often does not. When information is spoken aloud, the brain treats it as more significant and more worthy of being stored. Psychology refers to this as the production effect, where verbal expression creates a deeper memory trace than internal repetition alone. Your voice marks ideas as important, helping instructions, plans, and insights stay accessible over time. This is not compulsive repetition or absent-minded muttering. It is another pattern that often appears is a strong preference for depth over volume in relationships. People with few friends are rarely uninterested in connection itself. They are uninterested in connections that stay on the surface. Small talk can feel strangely empty, not because it is wrong, but because it lacks the meaning your mind is searching for. Your attention naturally moves toward ideas, emotions, and questions that sit beneath everyday conversation. You are drawn to understanding how people think, why they act as they do, and what gives life coherence. When an interaction never moves beyond polite exchanges, your energy slowly disengages. Not out of boredom, but because your mind is wired to seek substance rather than stimulation. Because of this, connection happens less frequently for you. Real connection requires emotional honesty and mental presence, and those conditions are rare. You may remain alone for long stretches, not as a form of isolation, but as a quiet waiting. You are attuned to depth, and until someone appears who resonates with that clarity, solitude feels more honest than participation. This kind of aloneness is often misunderstood, but it is not withdrawal. It is a commitment to relationships that genuinely nourish rather than deplete. There is also a neurological side to this pattern that often goes unnoticed. Some minds require more recovery after social interaction. If your nervous system is more sensitive, conversations take more energy because you are processing more information at once. Tone changes, pauses, facial expressions, and emotional undercurrents all register automatically. This heightened sensitivity is not something you choose. It is simply how your brain is tuned. While others move through social environments with minimal effort, your mind works on multiple layers simultaneously. That depth of processing comes with a cost. After time spent with people, time 0.3s, especially in groups, your system needs stillness to return to balance. This does not mean you dislike others. It means interaction uses a finite internal resource. Solitude becomes the place where your mind settles, where thoughts slow down and emotional clarity returns. What looks like withdrawal from the outside is often recovery on the inside. For you, being alone is not a rejection of connection. It is the state in which your nervous system resets and your inner world becomes quiet again. Another pattern often present is a strong sense of internal independence. Many people with few friends are not lonely in the way others assume. They are emotionally self-sustaining. Their sense of value does not depend heavily on external validation, constant reassurance, or social approval. Your inner world provides structure. You can sit with your thoughts, manage problems on your own, and find steadiness without needing continuous input from others. This can look distant to people who rely on social contact to regulate their emotions. But for you, solitude is not emptiness. It is a space where your mind feels organized and intact. Time 0.5s. Because of this independence, your standards for friendship tend to be high. You are careful about who enters your emotional environment. Chaotic, inconsistent, or intrusive personalities disrupt your inner balance, so you limit access naturally. While many people accumulate acquaintances, you remain selective about who is allowed close. This selectivity is not arrogance. It is self-regulation. You are preserving an internal order that you have learned to value. There is often one more layer beneath all of this, shaped quietly by experience. For many people with few or no friends, trust did not disappear without cause. At some point, disappointment, betrayal, or emotional inconsistency taught the mind to slow down before opening again. It may not have been dramatic. Sometimes it was simply repeated moments of being misunderstood or choosing people who could not meet you at depth. When trust is disrupted, the brain adapts by becoming more observant. You listen longer. You watch patterns instead of promises. You allow time to reveal consistency before closeness form. Time 0.5s. This creates a higher threshold for connection, one that others may not even notice they are being measured against. This caution is not suspicion for its own sake. It is a form of self-respect learned through experience. While it can keep some connections at a distance, it also protects what matters most to you. Your solitude is not a sign that something is wrong. It reflects a mind that operates with awareness, precision, and care. If you have few friends, it does not mean you are lacking. It means your inner world is structured differently. You notice more. You require more alignment. And you move more slowly toward connection because depth matters to you. Your quiet path is not a flaw. It is the environment where clarity grows, and where genuine connection eventually finds you, not through force, but through resonance.